Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. And I'm Tom Leach, along with Jim Goodman, Keeneland's Director of Simulcasting. And we're taking a look at the Friday card, the Makers 46-mile day. That's the headline event, and we're going to take a look at that and the late pick 4. A reminder that we'll be doing our regular Saturday podcast of major races around the country, plus a separate one just on the Keeneland Saturday card. But let's focus on Friday, Jim, and start with the Makers 46-mile, a grade 1. And another strong field, as is always the case. 7 of them go postward. Who do you like?
Yeah, it becomes wide open without Wise Dan in here. We're accustomed to seeing him in here. Of course, he's not back in training yet. So I can make a case for pretty much everybody in here. I didn't like Skyrim much on the inside, but other than that, I can make a case for all of them. I really tried to beat Summer Front. He's really hard to get past. He's placed in 3 grade 1s. This field did come up just a little bit light. There's only 7 horses in there, but I don't think he's a lock. And I think for a price, and I'm going to have a caveat here, if the turf is soft, I will not play this horse. And the turf very well may be soft with all the rain we've had. Zaw Approval is my choice. He had a wide trip in the Frank Kilroe, and Smith comes in to ride, which is always a plus. I think he's coming here to ride this race and going on to the Arkansas Derby, so it's just he's making a little roundabout trip from California to come in and ride this horse, and I think he's got a real shot. I don't like him if the turf is soft because he really doesn't run well, and Mark Cassey has said he may scratch him if the turf is off. So Zaw Approval with a caveat. I like Jack Milton, one of your favorite horses, always is there, and he needs to recapture that last May form. He's 2 for 7 at the mile, so he likes the distance. And then long on value for Bill Mott and Rosario, won the last out, the Canadian Turf at Gulfstream Park, and came from pretty well out of it, which is very hard to do, and had a rough trip. So I think I can make a case for long on value if he equals that last race. But Zaw Approval is my pick on a regular, hard, or firm course, but Summer Front would be my secondary if it turns soft.
I'm going long on value, the last one you mentioned there. And the reason I was looking at all these horses that are 5 or older, and I don't think they have any improvement left to speak of, and may not need it. But I was looking for a horse that might still have some upside left, and I like that last race for long on value. And if he can improve off that, could be there. Thought this horse got good late last year for Bill Mott, so he puts him in this spot. That's a confident move by Mott. I think out of a grade 3 to a grade 1, and I always like it when he's making a move with confidence. And so horse that just on the upside, I'm going to take a shot for a little value. That long on value can win the Makers 46-mile, and I'll use him with the 3 Summer Front, the 5 Legendary, and then depending on the weather, and I'm going to use Jack Milton, the 7, but if it were on the firmer side, if it were somehow to get firmer on the turf, then probably would replace him with Zaw Approval. But number 2, long on value for me. Now, the late pick 4 starts in the 7th race, and in the first leg, I'm going to use 3 horses, Get Down Kitten, Ice Festival, and Watch This Cat, 1, 3, and 8. In the 8th race, going to use 4 horses, Native Talent, Gasparilla Inn, Gambler's Rose, and Empress, 2, 1, 5, 7. I'm going to use long on value and Summer Front in the Makers 46-mile. And then in the last race, I'm going to go 4 deep with I Wish, Galloping Domino, Starmie, and Northern Borealis, so 2, 5, 8, 9. So 3 by 4 by 2 by 4 for me for a 50-cent pick 4. How about you?
I'll make the first leg real easy. I'm going to do all in the first leg. I got it down to 6 horses, and anytime I use half the field, I have to go all because you always don't get that 7th or 8th horse. So I'm going to go all there. The second leg, I'm going to use 2 horses unless the track comes up sloppy. And if it comes up sloppy, I'm going to single Gambler's Rose. I really like Del Romans' filly on an off track, and I don't think Gasparilla Inn will like the off track off her last race at Belmont. So using 1-5 on a fast track, singling 5 on a muddy track. The third leg is the Makers 46, and I would use the 3 horses that I touted in there, Summer Front the 3, Zaw Approval the 6, and Jack Milton the 7. And then the last race, I've got 3 horses. I've got I Wish, the 2. Then I've got the 9 horse, Northern Borealis, which is the horse that you mentioned. And I have got to put in Missing Sifa, the 7 horse. Look at the past performances on that mare. 13 years old, 107 lifetime starts, 28 wins. And Jamie Grubbs works here as a mutual clerk. She's 6 for 19 this year. So she doesn't have that many horses, but she puts them in a spot to win. This horse is still competitive. dropping out of allowance, so $5,000 starting allowance, turf weight, has run well in dirt in the past, and I got a pull for a 13-year-old horse, still in good shape and still going out there and running every day. So 279 in the last leg for me.
Love that story. I think that's one everybody will root for. You can check out picks on the Keeneland.com website each day from a variety of folks. We do the podcast every day for KeenelandSelect.com. And then on Saturdays, we do a separate podcast for the major races around the country, which will be headlined this Saturday by the Arkansas Derby. That and the Coolmore Lexington, the last big preps for the Kentucky Derby. Good luck with your wagers, and that's our selections for the Friday card for KeenelandSelect.com.